When it comes to solving quadratic equations, we learned that there are 4 strategies in solving the quadratic equation. One of the strategies we learned was factoring. Second strategy we learned was square roots. Third strategy we used was completing the square. And lastly, we learned how to solve the quadratic formula. Now the main question is, how do you know which strategy to use depending on the equation? When the equation is factorable, you would factor. Or another special characteristic of the discriminant is that if the discriminant value is a perfect square, then we know that we can factor the equation. For example, given the equation x squared minus 2x minus 24 equals 0, and pretend that you had no idea where to go, you could first solve the discriminant. The discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. The b value is negative 2, a is 1, c is negative 24. So negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 24. That will give us 4 minus 4 times negative 24. 4 times negative 24 is 96, and it's 4 plus 96, which is 100. Since 100 is a perfect square, we know with this problem it's easier to factor, and if we factor x squared minus 2x minus 24, we know that a times c is negative 24, b is negative 2, it is negative 6 and positive 4, and it'll be x minus 6, x plus 4 equals 0. So using the discriminant can help guide you to solving an equation. And here with this equation, for this example, we know x can equal 6 and negative 4. To determine if you want to use square roots, basically what you could do is you could identify from the equation. In the equation, there is no bx term. Basically, in the equation, there is no bx. So the equation will be written as ax squared plus c equals 0, or ax squared equals c. When it comes to completing the square, you can use completing the square for any equations. However, you want to use it when a equals 1 and b is even, so that it reduces the amount of work that you do for the problem. Remember though that when we complete the square, it has to be written in the format as ax squared plus bx equals c. When it comes to solving a quadratic equation, quadratic formula should be your last resort method because it is applicable for any equation. When you solve using the quadratic formula, make sure that the equation is written in ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, because when you solve using the quadratic formula, you will solve it as x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac. You'll divide this whole thing by 2a. Remember that all these 4 strategies are used to solve for x. We're finding the value of x through these strategies.